Halo Combat Evolved. When I was younger, I swore I'd never play this game again, mainly because my older brother showed me no mercy playing split-screen multiplayer. But that's a story for a different day. Today on the Gaming Adventure, we dive into an intergalactic war to save humanity from the most ruthless alien species, sorry about that, the Covenant. But that's not all. We will also be attempting one of the most unforgiving achievements in Halo history, the Lasso achievement. If you're unfamiliar, Lasso stands for Legendary All Skulls On. While Legendary is the hardest difficulty in the game, these 12 skulls are difficulty multipliers that make the game even more legendary. But we'll get to those in a minute. Initially, I believed I could beat this entire game solo. But after 5 hours on the first mission alone, I began to question my skills as a gamer.
I hate it.
So I called my friend Chase to see if he would endure this challenge with me.
Hello?
Yeah, bro, I need help.
Yeah, I got it.
After teaming up with my duo, I felt a lot better. The game begins as we are being attacked by the Covenant, and our only objective is to get off the ship. But as we entered our first encounter with our alien enemies, we noticed they were a bit stronger.
Oh.
Oh my god. Unfortunately, all enemies will have increased health due to the Mythic Skull. And you may be thinking that's really not a big deal, and honestly, it's not. The real issue is the fact that we have no auto-aim, less ammo, every bullet we shoot counts as 2, and we're also not able to pick up the enemy weapons, all due to these 4 skulls. Surprisingly though, we were moving pretty smoothly through the first mission. That is until we celebrated a grunt birthday and a funeral all at once.
Oh!
Good.
No, I died!
I didn't know until it resets me. The Grunt Birthday Skull is a harmless confetti celebration for a headshot, but the Funeral Skull turns a grunt into an explosion of plasma upon their death. This skull paired with the Boom Skull doubles the damage radius, making encounters with explosives extremely terrifying. As we moved through the hull of the ship, we took down some enemy grunts from a distance and tried our best to smack some elites because that's the only way you regain any shields due to the Black Eye Skull. Upon moving further ahead, we stumbled upon a discovery we both probably should have known about beforehand, the Iron Skull.
Oh.
Oh my god, bro! What? Oh, it resets us immediately? On solo, dying resets the entire mission, but if one player dies on co-op, it resets the last checkpoint. We got stuck on the stair portion for a moment, but we were finally able to make it past all the enemies by one of the most unique and odd strategies I actually learned from YouTube.
Oh, it's an elite close.
Just keep running, keep running. Yeah, when in doubt, just run past everyone. After a walk down the dark hallways of the Pillar of Autumn, we had one issue. We had no idea where to go. But nevertheless, as we wandered around the last areas of the first mission, we heard Cortana's sweet voice order us to get into the life pod. Oh, that's it? Let's go!
Oh, that's it.
Let's go, baby!
Let's go!
Yes!
We
dude,
did it!
we did
This is it?
That's the first
Yeah!
one! Yes, bro! Oh my god. What initially had taken me 5 hours to get halfway, we had completed in under 45 minutes as a team. Maybe this game wouldn't be so bad after all, but truth and reconciliation was still waiting for us. But first, we would need to survive a crash landing on the Halo ring, which we accomplished, but unfortunately our fellow passengers did not. The main objective in this mission is to locate and rescue any survivors left in the area. We began the mission sneaking past some Covenant forces, took out a Banshee, and arrived at the first location to defend a few survivors until they were rescued. Initially, we tried our best to protect them, but quickly found out it was not going to be possible. We spent 2 days on this part alone. However, on day 3, we found something extremely useful: a rock. For some unknown reason, the Covenant will not chase you if you're standing directly behind this rock. This made the perfect holdout for Chase and I. That is until I decided to run ahead for reasons I still don't understand. Dang it, bro. Backed up too much. After deciding to act a little bit smarter and conserve some more ammo, we cleared the last wave and were on our way to locate the remaining survivors. But first, we would need to pull off one of the smoothest drifting techniques known to man. Now, I've never drifted a real car before, on purpose, that is. And while my capabilities behind the wheel were not the issue, my jumping abilities, however, are a completely different story. I suck! Oh my god!
Come on, bro!
5 minutes later.
Getting stuck. Okay. Okay, we're good. Good. My gosh, bro.
There we go.
After succeeding the Warthog Drift, we were making good time on the mission, and normally this is where something catastrophic would happen and set us back for hours. Thankfully, that didn't happen. But what would happen during our next objective was something completely contrary to Master Chief's character, and for that, I apologize. We were ordered to locate and rescue the remaining survivors at 3 different locations, but that day I learned something on the internet about this mission. If there are no survivors remaining, you don't have to rescue them. Oh, sorry. Did we get all of them or no? Okay.
We're doing the opposite of what Master Chief is.
To anybody watching, this is not what Master Chief might do, but it's what we're doing.
This is not an accurate representation of the character.
If you guys are upset about the desecration of Master Chief's honor, first I would say it's not near as bad as the show.
That's gross.
And secondly, the Marines at the last area totally avenged their fallen allies.
Yeah, they're fighting. What? Oh! Dude, the sniper shot me!
So we can link up with the rest of
But once the dust had settled after a treacherous amount of friendly fire, all we had to do was sit back in the Warthog while taking out the last few Covenant stragglers just before we finished the mission.
Baby, number 2 is down. Number 2 is down in the grave, baby.
Although Mission 2 took us a lot longer than it should have, Mission 3 would not only be worse, but would also be a true test of our friendship and mental toughness. Truth and Reconciliation is one of 2 missions in this entire game that have ruined countless gamers' attempts at the lasso achievement. I would love to say it was different for Chase and I, but that, my friend, would be a lie.
No, I tried to run. Dude, the hitbox on that was crazy.
We spent a total of 4 streams on this mission alone, so I figured I would split this mission into 4 main areas: the Lively Lift, the Room of Death, the Tunnels of Despair, and finally, Key's Betrayal. The mission begins as we are dropped off with some fellow Marines to stealthily clear out the enemies and infiltrate one of their ships to rescue Captain Keyes. Slowly navigating around the bends of each trail, we got hung up on a small portion leading us to the lift. Normally in solo you could grab this camo and run past all the enemies, but with 2 players and only 1 active camo, it's nearly impossible. So we thought the best idea was to send Chase ahead to see if he could get a checkpoint that would hopefully pull me to his destination safely.
Checkpoint. Oh my god,
Yo,
dude.
let's go. Oh my gosh.
Let's just die. Let's just die.
Yeah,
so you
I'll
come over here.
just see if I can make it, honestly.
Yeah, I know, but should be a checkpoint on you. Oh, I got checkpointed
Oh, dude. I still have camo.
where
You're back there?
Although we did get that checkpoint, the game knew of our secret attempts and I was left at the last area to fend for myself. After a few minutes, I decided to walk back to get some ammo while Chase cleared out the enemies ahead of us. If you're like me, I had no idea that with this checkpoint, walking away from the enemies would force them to despawn. This left the road to Chase wide open, and we were finally moving on to challenge number 1, the Lively Lift. Multiple waves of elites, grunts, and jackals drop from this lift, and after defending yourself against 4 or 5 waves, 2 hunters will drop for the final wave. You might think holding out around the high ground would be the best course of action, and we did too. I mean, it's Star Wars 101. When we tried it, it didn't go so well.
No!
No,
Oh, I didn't think you were
After learning that this process was not going to work at all, we tried hiding in the cave passage to see if we could 300 our way out of this mess. And with this enormous rock to hide behind, we were absolutely sure that there would be nothing that could possibly hurt
What just killed?
us.
Bro.
Apparently, behind this particular rock, you were only safe from enemy bullets, not grenades. I'm also convinced the developers did this on purpose as a joke. But nevertheless, we stayed in our cave and slowly drew the enemies to our position using the explosive grunts to our advantage until finally making it to the last wave. The Hunters. Surprisingly, they're actually super easy to take down in this game. The real issue was the lack of places to hide, and our health bars weren't looking promising either. Thankfully, we were able to use this to our advantage. One of us would be the bait, and the other would do the dirty work of taking out the Hunters. It took us a few tries, but we finally finished part 1 of this torturous mission. Unfortunately, challenge number 2 would be the worst part of this entire achievement. I like to call this place the Room of Death, and I would explain it, but I think you get the point. Hot off that victory from the lift, we went in completely ready to take on anything that came through these doors. Or so we thought.
Yep.
Get through this
Oh my
door.
gosh. I might die.
Dang it. We really believed we could take out all the enemies with enough practice, and boy was that stupid. We ended up spending 2.5 hours in this room before we had to call it a day. We have jobs too, you know. Unfortunately, we would need to restart the entire mission over, but we would not be defeated, so that evening I wanted answers. So I looked and looked, but what I found was odd. Hide in the corner? Yeah, this is the last thing I expected to be doing as Master Chief, but we were running out of options. So we tried this hiding tactic, and it worked extremely well. The only issue was, when we thought all the enemies were gone, a quick peek in the room sent us to the grave. Yo, the needler, bro. It was the needles, I didn't even think about that. With enough time, we probably could have beaten it on day 3, but remember, we have jobs. So fast forward to day number 4, with this mission, we spent over 5 hours on this part alone, which means 2 things. We had plenty of practice and the worst RNG ever. But something happened on day number 4. As I sat down before the stream, I felt different. I felt confident.
Grab a seatbelt, strap in, ladies and gentlemen, because we're gonna be here a while.
So as men with a plan, we went into the Covenant's base as ready as a sponge could be. We committed to save as much ammunition as possible, only taking selective shots as needed. We moved around the bends of the trail smoothly, made it to the lively lift in a good amount of time, and we're back into the room of death. We waited for the enemies to open the doors, and we snuck in as quickly as possible, letting our Marine allies fend for themselves. The trick here was literally to sit in this corner until the game soundtrack started playing. Then you must take shots of the grunts and hope to the heavens that they cluster enough to take out the remaining enemies. Surprisingly enough, after an hour, we were blessed with a solid run that carried us to maybe the most needed checkpoint of this entire game.
Let's go, baby.
I have 4 nade points.
Okay, we would need to take out some hunters and continue moving our way towards keys. We were slowly but surely making our way ahead, and then we reached Tunnels of Despair. This area was not near as bad as the Room of Death, but what this area did have to offer was some extremely close combat, killer doors, which led to a moment of great despair. We would need to move through 3 different platforms to make it to keys. We began by trying to sneak our way through a couple areas to get to the first platform, but that didn't work. So, after taking the true Master Chief approach, we made it to the end of the first tunnel and were faced with 2 more hunters that we took down pretty easily. Everything was going just fine, and we were making it through the Tunnels of Despair with ease. That is until the game sabotaged me and killed me with a door. What did I just die from?
There might be like 20.
I don't know what I died from. I just died, though. Bro, what did I just die from? Yeah, explain that to me, bro. After losing my mind over that ordeal, we were able to take down the hunters a second time and move through the next 2 levels rather quickly, until the last and final platform. This part was destroying us for one reason: the jackals. Normally we could take out 2 grunts and the elite with ease, but when these 2 jackals came down the long hallway, fear ran through my body. Not only do they shoot with electric speed, but also the plasma pistol does an incredible amount of damage to you. Surprisingly early on, we had a decent run going. We took down the jackals and were moving on to the next area, hoping there was another checkpoint ahead. And that's when it happened.
Freaking run.
Please tell me there's a checkpoint.
Don't
Please
let
tell me
anybody
there's
else
a
be over
checkpoint.
here. Oh my gosh.
Checkpoint.
Oh my gosh.
Please.
Let's go, bro.
Please.
I think we're really close to one. We should get. Oh my gosh!
Oh my god.
No. This sent us back to the exact same place we were struggling before, and I have never felt such despair. This place truly earned its name, but thankfully after 15 more minutes, we had one more opportunity. One shot, I guess you could say, and we did not let it slip.
Oh, I got it full shield. Let's go.
Freaking yikes.
Come on.
Oh my gosh.
Come on.
Yes, bro.
Go.
Oh,
There's no
let's
checkpoint.
freaking go, baby. Let's
Go,
go,
my God.
baby. Let's go, baby.
This would lead us to one of the slightly easier parts of Truth and Reconciliation, and I do say slightly because this is still lasso, people. With my health bar dwindling fairly low, I encouraged Chase to go into the next room with the camo because he had more health, and not at all because he was just a much better shot than me. As he walked into the area where our men were being kept, he let the book version of Master Chief loose. He destroyed every enemy in sight with his cat-like reflexes and titan strength, leading us to the cutscene of saving Captain Keyes, and also the last challenging area of this mission, Keyes' betrayal. There was just one thing remaining: get off the ship. With Keyes and our Marines strapped with Covenant weaponry, the sweet relief of victory was within our grasp. Although as we were making our way through the last few areas, we forgot that we still needed to keep Captain Keyes alive, or you fail the mission. I'm convinced that Captain Keyes had something to prove to the Marines, because anytime we would retreat to cover, he would stand completely still and fight to the death.
I hate him, bro.
which resulted in a lot of resets. But after Chase babysat Captain Keys for a little bit, I could slowly make my way ahead without the worry of his inevitable sabotage. I shortly made it to a loading area in the Tunnels of Despair, which pulled Chase all the way to my location. We took out the remaining enemies and hijacked the Covenant ship, finally relieving us from this unforgiving nightmare.
Let's go. Oh my gosh. Let's go.
Wait,
Yes!
did we just finish it? You're kidding.
Let's go,
Yes!
baby. Yes!
We did it!
After nearly 15 hours, we finally beat Truth and Reconciliation. But the journey through this campaign was far from finished. We were now headed into a mission that would be a walk in the park, or should I say, beach. Get it? Whatever. As the Pelican dropped us off on our new mission site, we got a breath of fresh air and the color purple was not near as abundant. Our mission here was to lead the Marines around the beach to find the cartographer, which in short is just a map leading us to the control room of the Halo Ring. The main plan was to follow the Marines, but unlike our attempt on the previous mission, I did my research here. So we went in the complete opposite direction we were supposed to. Going backwards would actually keep us free from unnecessary fights and setbacks throughout this mission. After a nice long walk on the beach, we came to our first checkpoint, which would be filled with plenty of grunts and elites as we made our way ahead. This area went by incredibly smoothly as we took out the hunters with a nice bait and switch
I got
technique.
one.
I'm trying to go around here.
If you shoot that one in the back, you're
Yeah.
golden, brother. Oh, maybe not. Got him.
After dropping the hunters like a sack of potatoes, we slowly inched our way towards a room we thought was the map room. After getting a much needed checkpoint, it was revealed that this room was actually just the security room. But nevertheless, we shut it down and were strolling our way out of the facility when a speed bump occurred.
Oh, there's elites in here. What?
Oh,
Whoa!
Oh,
There's
where'd I get
freaking...
that from?
I don't know how many there are, but there's a lot.
These speed bumps are called invisible elites, and they are blocking the exit. Unfortunately for us, we weren't very wise with our ammo usage coming inside, so we spent a solid 20 minutes attempting to leave, but these speed bumps were starting to feel more like stop signs. But like Chris Farley and Tommy Boy, we refused to take no for an answer. After keeping our distance and fighting for our lives, we found a way back outside and were finally nearing the map room. But it was guarded by a plethora of enemy infantry. This might have been difficult if I hadn't done my research, but while I was reading deep into the Halo lore one day, I found the best way to enter the building.
Oh my god! I suck, bro!
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
I'm back in a sin, bro.
It's reverse.
Come on.
Putting up a real fight. The
Oh my
cartographer
god.
must be
I can't believe it.
After getting inside without a scratch, we fought through 3 levels of enemies along the way without too many issues, leading us all the way to the silent cartographer, aka the map. Once we located the cartographer, all we had to do was get out of the facility, which honestly couldn't be that hard.
Oh my. Yo.
The tight corridors and the Covenant knowing our every move before we make it led to some very rage-filled moments. But thankfully Chase picked up a rocket launcher and chose to full send a rocket to a pair of jackals at the top of the staircase. This would lead us to another group of jackals moments later. With no more rockets to spare, we were forced to engage in hand-to-hand combat. But as Dory kept swimming, we kept smacking, and it sure did pay off.
Suck on that. Let's go.
When in doubt, smack 'em.
So after swinging our way to freedom, Chase took down this sword elite with another perfectly timed bait and switch, leading us to the final steps of the mission. But we wouldn't be walking. As I discussed earlier, I drove the Warhog into the building, and I felt the decent thing to do was to drive it out. Although as we attempted to drive out, we were greeted by another band of invisible elites who were extremely good at their jobs. After multiple attempts trying to barrel our way through, I realized that Chase's health bar was actually way too low to make it out and into the Pelican safely. I even tried to go out myself and get into the Pelican, hoping to finish the mission.
Does it oh, do we both have to get in?
Hang on, I'll
Surely
try and
not.
get there. I'm going for it.
If it I think
Going
yeah,
for it.
dang it, bro. That makes me so mad. Okay.
So we got even more creative and placed the Warhog in one of the most strategic spots I've ever seen and slowly took out the elites. After the plasma settled, we hopped into the Warhog and floored it outside. With 2 hunters remaining, Chase hopped out perfectly and boarded the Pelican, and I tail swiped the 2 remaining hunters faster than my dog with the morning zoomies. We finally had the map and were on our way to Halo's control room.
Let's go, baby! Yes! Yes!
Assault on the control room is one of the longest missions in the entire game. There are many areas you will have to walk through and loads of enemies to keep you from reaching the control room alive. All of this is true, however, unless you know a secret. And this isn't any ordinary secret. This secret is called the Banshee Grab, and it literally skips the entire mission. And if it wasn't obvious, I happen to have learned this secret. Originally, I was going to name this mission the easy one, but that all changed just as we started.
Oh, he fell, but he didn't fall out.
I didn't think
He said, nah, that's just...
And now, having the experience, I would have named this mission the Assault on Sam's Intelligence. Thankfully, it really didn't take us that long to reach the area where the skip is, but completing it, however, was a different story altogether. As we approached, I was extremely excited to show off to stream just how easy we would complete this entire mission. But as you all know, pride comes before a fall, and fall I did. To complete this skip, all you have to do is complete a small 5-step process. Step 1, stand in this spot. Step 2, stare at the Banshee until his wing hits this shadow. Step number 3, crouch until the Banshee gets caught in the door. Step 4, move to the door. Step 5, grab the Banshee and fly your way to the end of the entire mission. As you can see, this skip is so incredibly easy that anyone could probably do it. And with the practice I had before stream that day, I figured I would be able to do it on the first try.
Okay, I have to take one.
Unfortunately for us, we did not complete it on the first try, but we also did not complete it on the second try, or probably the 50 other tries after that. It actually got so bad that chat said I needed a name change.
Be no longer the Hammerman, he is the man being hammered. Stop it! I will not have my name dragged through the mud.
And after about 30 minutes, we even considered the possibility of going through the entire mission normally. But thanks to the guys in chat, Siren and Dylan, they quickly vetoed the idea and recommended we keep trying the skip, because it saves an enormous amount of time. But really, I think they just wanted to watch me suffer.
No!
So try we did, for an hour and 20 minutes, until we had a potential moment of success.
Oh my gosh! No! Come on, get me out of here! Let's go, baby! Let's go, baby! Come on! Yes! No! No! No way! It was the checkpoint.
Bro.
As we celebrated our sweet victory of success, Chase was backing up to safety, but took one step too far, pulling me out of the Banshee and back to the hallway. I'm not gonna lie, this one hurt a little bit, but all I could really do was laugh because it was actually pure comedy and the best piece of content. We not only had to complete it once, but a second time on stream, but by golly good gosh, if we did it once, we can do it twice, right? Thankfully for us, we were able to complete it again in just 5 minutes, and this time, Chase put his controller down until we received the next checkpoint.
Controller is on my desk. I'm not moving.
Thanks, Chase. The rest of the mission would literally be a walk in the park. Seriously. Although, we kind of got lost. So after turning around and finding the right direction to go, we arrived at the assault control room as Cortana gave us some terrible news. She revealed that Captain Keyes and his men are in grave danger and we needed to rescue them as soon as possible. Unsure of what direction to go, we hopped in the Banshee and headed into the swamp, of which we would face the most menacing creature yet. Wait, sorry, not him. Upon arriving, the atmosphere was incredibly eerie and ominous. But as we approached the underground structure, the Covenant were running away. And I don't know about you, but if they're running, I don't think we should be here either. But we had men to rescue, and this time, we would leave no man behind. Hoping to get inside undetected, we found a nice, easier route to enter the facility. But as we got inside and made it to our allies, we found out that they weren't as lively as we were hoping they'd be. But thankfully, they left a camera so we could get a live look as they entered the facility before us. And what it revealed was riveting.
So they just all die? That's it? KIA. Unsure.
Yeah, I don't think they made it. Upon realizing what had been unleashed in this lab and our team was probably not here anymore, the objectives changed to run and survive. Although the surviving part became extremely challenging when the door exploded and the flood flooded inside. We actually got stuck inside this room for 30 minutes before making any progress. We found that the best strategy was to throw grenades as they blew the door open, and then run for your life. After many tries and many errors, we were finally able to move further ahead to the first checkpoint we so desperately needed. After this point, I could only describe the rest of the mission like a corn maze. You see, they're super cool, but if you don't know where you're going, they're terrifying. Not to mention when you add the highly infectious parasitic life forms that are chasing you. So after many different turns down dead-end hallways and dying to the flood's incredible reach, we somehow made some progress and learned a lot about this lab's infrastructure. We then established a route that would take us to the end of the entire mission with ease, and when I say we, I mean Chase did and I followed him. The only moments we had issues were when I died to a lack of reloading because I wasn't paying attention to my ammo reserves. Oh, I'm out of ammo.
Let's go, 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 go.
Go, 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 go. But thankfully, after we had a couple perfectly timed grenades in this doorway, we made it to the lift in the nick of time and only had one objective to complete. Hide. Yes, hide. At the end of this mission, the Sentinels actually arrived to take out all the flood in the area, but while they're focused on each other, you can actually hide until the end of the mission. So we took a nice calm stroll around the woods to the next area, and then hid in silence until the end of the mission, hoping no one would see us. Thankfully, we waited them out just long enough for the cutscene, as the Guilty Spark teleports us to the place with endless amounts of knowledge, power, and silence. The library. Wait, wrong library. This mission was the second hardest level we faced throughout the entire Lasso experience. With multiple levels fighting through the flood, we would need to use our big brains to find any skips possible throughout this mission. Unfortunately, I only knew of one. Now I'm sure there's more, but we had enough trouble completing the first one. After somehow managing a way to get past this area, we actually didn't even do it right. Doing this jump correctly actually keeps the flood from spawning as you walk to the next area. What we didn't realize is that we had to send the Guilty Spark ahead of us before completing this jump. Once we did do it correctly though, we were on our way into the long hallways of the library with one incredibly simple objective: follow the Guilty Spark and retrieve the index to destroy the flood. At least, that's what he told us. We'll get to that shortly, but really, this mission isn't all too different from everything we've seen so far. It's so similar, actually, that I made a circle depicting it. Chase and I have high confidence. We die a lot as confidence dwindles. We reach a checkpoint and regain confidence, and the process repeats. Although Chase and I's main focus was surviving to each checkpoint and avoiding as many flood forms as possible, this didn't really work as well as we'd thought. Not only is this library confusing, but taking one turn in the wrong direction can be catastrophic to your life. Starting our way up 3 levels to the index location, we knew we had to work as a team if we wanted to make it out alive. After we had some good RNG and perfectly placed grenades, we hid in a corner and received our first of many checkpoints to come. Chase would then push through to the next checkpoint on his own, hoping to make it to the first elevator that would pull me to his location. Although his health bar was fairly low, after another 30 minutes of attempts, he did the impossible and made it to the first of 3 elevators.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm here, dude. I'm going up the thing.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Oh my! Let's go! I'm him! I'm him!
And as you all can see, the cutscene title says, "Wait, it gets worse." And I can confirm it did in fact get worse, but not immediately. This next area, Guilty Spark opened the door and we actually found a corner to hide in while the Sentinels were taking out the flood. I'd like to mention that if you can hide at any point within this challenge, you should do it. We then made our way pretty smoothly around the ring without having to fight any combatants. But as we were nearing the next area, we saw an opportunity to take out a group of flood and quickly get through the upcoming hallway. Or so we thought. After experiencing this, we decided to take a slower approach. And by slower, I mean we died multiple times and finally ended up making it to a checkpoint thanks to Chase's boxing skills.
Ouch. No, you. No, 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 you. No, no, you.
Oh,
Checkpoint.
Then we met the dreaded rocket flood, which actually wasn't that bad. The real issue were the carriers, aka the mushroom-looking guys. These enemies are massive, and you really never know how much damage you're going to take when they explode. Sometimes they explode at a moment's notice, and others they wait until you're incredibly close, but for Chase and I, they did whatever was most fatal. But oddly enough, the flood actually turned on themselves moments later. Oh, they themselves somehow. We could probably move up. The mushroom guys exploded, which took out the rocket flood, and I threw a grenade to clean up the leftovers. This gave us one shot, one opportunity, and we couldn't let it slip. We had to capture it. Okay, I'm done. As we ran as fast as our Spartan legs could take us, we finally arrived to the second elevator. Now that we had made it this far, I know what you guys might be thinking. How on earth did these guys make it without any issues from the rocket flood? And I have to say, I have no idea how we got so lucky. We were so grateful this part was so easy because restarting this checkpoint over and over and over and over and over again would actually kind of suck. So we're really happy that didn't happen at all. Shortly after, Chase and I made it to another door of which we got to watch the Sentinels do the dirty work as we watched with gratitude. We then ran to the final elevator of the mission and sighed as we were nearing the end. And actually, the end of this mission would have been an hour faster if we hadn't made one crucial mistake. It wasn't at the next door that we had to defend, and no, it wasn't even the hallway as we were being chased by flood forms. It was literally the last door. You see, what we should have done was do our best to defend ourselves until this door opened, leading us to the end of the mission. But we didn't do that. I had the bright idea of running completely past the last door in hopes that we could stay alive for a decent checkpoint. But what I didn't know at the time was this one seemingly small decision would cost us an enormous amount of time. We did reach the end of the hallway safely and even got that checkpoint I was talking about, but we would still need to fight our way back through all of the flood and somehow enter the door we had just ran past. With our health bars dwindled, we needed to be incredibly creative with our attempts to reach the door. Although each attempt was definitely creative, for a solid hour they were all ending the exact same way. Oh my word. What in the... That's the end, though. That is literally the end. We were faced with one decision. One of us would have to push their way through the infected combatants to the index, while the other stayed behind as a scout. Chase, clearly being the best evader of the enemy, stormed ahead as I watched from the distance. Throwing a perfect grenade that clustered with some plasma grenades cleared a path just small enough for Chase to slip by. As he moved ahead into the last area of the mission, he reached the index, but nothing happened. As puzzled as we were, we figured both players needed to finish the mission together. So I took off behind my companion, taking plasma rounds in the back, hoping we weren't sent back to the corner of despair. As we ducked, dipped, dived, and dodged our way to the platform, we finished the mission and were for a moment finally relieved. Somewhere. Oh, we both had to be there?
Come on, man, let's go.
Crazy.
Oh my god. Finally!
Let's
Freaking go, baby! But unfortunately, there was an approaching betrayal no one could have ever expected. Unknown to us, by using the index, it activates the Halo Ring's main weapon, which destroys all sentient life in the galaxy. So really, it just destroys the Flood's food source and not the Flood itself. Can you believe this guy? Anyways, after learning why they call him the Guilty Spark, Cortana informs us that the only way to save humanity is to destroy the Halo Ring itself. Hence the mission name, Two Betrayals. The more you know, right? Our new objective is simple. Destroy the generators in order to delay the extermination of every life form in the galaxy. So nothing really serious. With a job like this and a couple Spartan 2 super soldiers like Chase and I think the universe is in great hands. Well, maybe. The first day on stream, we tried to make it through the entire mission normally, and even found a unique way to use the Banshees. Although our newfound strategy was extremely useful, unfortunately, we didn't finish the mission. You know, due to those job things Chase and I have. So I guess the universe was completely destroyed. Game over. I'm kidding. On stream 2 of this mission, we came back with information, knowledge, and a much easier Banshee skip. All you have to do is hit this door button twice and then take some incredibly sneaky maneuvers down the side of the structure. Doing this correctly keeps all the forward enemies from spawning ahead. So after moving down the side of the structure, I took the Banshee towards the top of this platform and I knocked it down for Chase to fly up and meet me. Although I would still need to go back to the door and retrieve a Banshee while taking a very specific route to spawn the remaining enemies to finish the mission. After moving through the air better than a man in a squirrel suit, we arrived at the first generator. As Chase took it down, I stayed behind while using the loading area to pull him to safety. Jumping in the Banshees outside, we began raining plasma from the sky on our enemies below. I'm not gonna lie, it felt really good to be at the advantage for once and absolutely destroy the Covenant from above. After a few minutes of complete decimation, we landed safely on the bridge and Chase would use an abnormal technique for sure, but it was a lot safer than going in normally. Or At least it seemed that way.
Nice.
Oh, you threw a grenade!
After a couple tries, we cleared out the enemies in the area and made our way to the second generator. This next area wasn't really that difficult if it wasn't for the overwhelming amount of flood rushing us into the hallway. And although we did have a perfect system, swapping positions as needed, this area took us nearly 30 minutes to complete. Even as we moved through the 2 bridges ahead of us, the first one wasn't that difficult, but the second had banshees in the air committed to wreak havoc on our confidence. And boy oh boy did they.
Okay, it crashed and exploded and I died. That's on me.
But as we entered one of the last buildings, the infection forms stood at the door waiting for us. But then, the weirdest thing happened.
Window. Yes. Is that our cue to leave?
Yeah, we had no idea what to do, but nevertheless, grateful that we had an easier route, we moved forward to another skip that would save us an enormous amount of time. This time, I would need to use some incredible ghost maneuvers in order to make it to the Banshee, jump out on the move, and fly away as quickly as possible. So, pretty simple stuff. Thankfully, this part actually went rather smoothly as we made it to the last generator. With a rocket in my inventory, I figured we would send one sailing towards the flood to clear the area. Little did I know that rockets actually don't go through glass.
Oh my lord. Let's. Oh!
I just shot myself with the gun.
Yeah, you killed me.
Who would have thought?
Yeah,
Who would have
you
thought a
killed me.
rocket wouldn't go through glass?
At this point, I felt like the game was trying to sabotage us. Thankfully, after throwing mini grenades and sending rockets through the doorway, we destroyed the second generator and flew our way to the next area. This time, we would have to find a way to get this ghost through a very tiny doorway. After just squeezing past, as only an Oklahoman can do, we used the ghost to clear the next area. After about 5 minutes of this, we were closing in on the last generator's location, but I would need to get another Banshee to fly away. But this time, there would be 2 Wraith tanks, Covenant infantry, and rocket floods surrounding it. No problem, right? Apparently that is right. Our second attempt, I had the best drift and tuck and roll the world has ever seen.
Oh, that was so smooth! Oh my gosh, that was the smoothest drop I've ever seen.
As you can tell, I was extremely proud of this. I should have known what was coming next, but the ego in my eyes blinded me from the future. I had assumed that there would be safety ahead as I landed my Banshee on the platform, but clearly, that was wrong.
That was insane. And of course, okay, that was stupid. Okay, well, I just died. So, pride comes before a fall, ladies and gentlemen.
Upon returning to the checkpoint, I was prepared for the Sentinels and rained down plasma from above and watched with joy in my eyes. After safely landing the Banshee on the platform, we received a checkpoint as Chase and I moved into the last generator area to betray the betrayer that betrayed us.
Final target neutralized. Let's get out of here.
Yes, baby! Yes! Let's go!
Let's go, dude. High five.
Heck yeah, bro. High five.
Taking out the generators did buy humanity some time for now, but Cortana informed us that Captain Keyes is captured. Again. But this time, it was by the Flood. We would be going back to a place Chase and I both hated tremendously. The Truth and Reconciliation. This Covenant cruiser is overrun by the Flood, but Cortana drops us inside the ship right on our head. Literally. After regaining consciousness, we check our surroundings and reach the area where we will be spending the majority of this mission, the starting room. Chat had told us that this skip was non-negotiable, so we took on the challenge. And by that, I mean we spent a lot of time watching videos. If you don't know, all you have to do is take down this armless Flood in a specific corner, but there's a catch. He has to be a reviver Flood, meaning he comes back to life. After taking him down and smacking this specific wall, you should get pushed through the wall. That's pretty magical, I'd say. And honestly, it only took us 1 hour to do it
When
correctly.
he gets back up.
It worked!
He's getting back up. It'll push you through.
Yes,
It worked?
bro!
I saw your
Okay.
thing. Okay, so
Now-
I just need to chill now.
Yeah, I don't really know where I'm supposed to go.
And that last statement couldn't have been more true. Despite our record-breaking time, I forgot one incredibly important detail. We were supposed to take out all the enemies that were standing still, but I had no idea I did it wrong until I reached the cutscene.
Oh, wait. What is happening?
You need to get back to the shuttle. Let's go back to the shuttle.
Bro, what? What kind of...
What happened?
So we would need to do this part all over again. The second time, I made sure to take out every single enemy I saw ahead. As we were getting close to the end of the mission, we realized we were too late to save Captain Keyes. Consumed by the flood, Captain Keyes was unable to be saved, but there was still something we needed.
That's Keyes. Poor guy.
What he'd want us to do.
But I don't know if I'll enjoy it. I don't want to spend tons of money only to not like the game.
After retrieving the neural implants, all we would need to do is find a way out of the Truth and Reconciliation. Although the absolute bombardment of Flood and Covenant soldiers who stormed in made things a bit
You've been helping a lot.
How did that...
Whoa!
This entire part was really just Chase and I throwing grenades, hoping we would just get enough room to slip by into the hallway and make a run for it. After the odds finally fell in our favor, we pushed to a checkpoint in the Tunnels of Despair with one remaining objective: escape. As we made it to the loading bay and cleared the area, there were 2 Banshees waiting on us down below. We jumped down, grabbed our vessels, and shot out faster than a can of spray cheese, awaiting the ending cutscene. But the game had other plans.
Go.
Oh my gosh! What? No way! What?
Yeah, this game literally hates us. Thankfully, following this monstrosity, we found a better area to drop to the Banshees and take off towards the Pillar of Autumn to finish the job.
Oh, please let it work.
That works, I guess.
Did it work? Oh my gosh, let's go!
As we crash landed into the Pillar of Autumn, we were almost certain that this last mission couldn't be near as bad as everything we'd faced throughout the entirety of this game. And for the most part, we were right. Our first objective was to make our way to the bridge of the ship and link Captain Keyes' neural implant to the ship itself, which in short just means we need to blow up the ship. We really didn't have too much difficulty reaching the bridge, and upon arriving, we felt pretty good about our run so far. As we engaged the self-destruct sequence, this turd burger showed up. The guilty spark delayed our plan and disengaged the ship's self-destruction. Cortana then informed us that we would need to move to the engine room and destroy the ship manually. Moving further along, things were still going incredibly smooth. That is until we made it to the cryo chambers room.
Brother, what? Did you see that?
How did that kill me?
This area was completely filled with flood forms and sentinels attacking us all at once, and I really don't think this area would have been too difficult to complete if we had a lot more shotgun ammo. With our low ammo reserves and flood forms packing the hallways like the animals on Noah's Ark, the waters were getting high, if you catch my drift. But after nearly 45 minutes of continuous attempts, we finally saw a light at the end of the tunnel. Well, I guess we sent a light to the end of the tunnel. Following the light as every Christian should, we made our way to the end of the hallway safely, but not without a good scare from a shotgun flood.
He's got a rock. He's got a shotgun, bro. I've got nothing to shoot him. Okay, I'm just gonna smack him.
Let's go. I'm backed up. Don't worry about me. Go.
Shotgun ammo.
Finally arriving at this checkpoint, we were closing in on the engine room's location. Sure, we died to the elites and sometimes the hunters on our way there, but we didn't come all this way for nothing. We forced our way ahead, running away from, completely destroying every enemy in sight. Finally arriving at the engine room, we would need to take down all 4 fusion reactors in the area. As Chase would release the gate to each, I would try my best to hit them with a rocket in the opening. And I do say try my best because, as we all know at this point, I'm a terrible shot. After stopping by the armory and retrieving every rocket we could carry, I took down the first 3 reactors, but I had no rockets remaining. And that's why it's always good to have a friend behind you with another rocket to save the day. Chase swooped in and took out the last reactor, which would send us on a wild ride to the end of the game. After getting off the service elevator, we jumped into a Warthog and took off to the evac point where SamTheHammerman was sent to rescue us. And I know exactly what you guys are thinking. This has got to be the easiest part in the entire game. But let me be the first to tell you, this isn't Mario Kart, brother. These Warthogs are incredibly difficult to drive, and it is also exactly why Chase would be driving and I would be sitting in the passenger seat completely safe.
Nice. I died.
well, semi-safe. Not only do these Warthogs have terrible handling, but the area we are driving in is worse than a pothole-filled road in Oklahoma. But nevertheless, Chase was doing some of the best driving a gamer could. We made it to the faux hammer destination and realized they were being tailed by 2 banshees as we reached the evac location.
That was our ride.
Echo 419.
Unfortunately, we would need to drive even further to make it out of this legendary adventure. So drive we did, completely determined to finish the fight. But as we reached the very end, we thought we could push through the very last barrier with our Warthog, and we had never been so wrong.
Go straight. Okay, we gotta push through. We gotta, yeah, you can squeeze
Get
through.
aboard now.
Maybe not. Oh my god, I died. Oh, that was...
Not only did we get completely destroyed, but we were sent back all the way to the beginning of this unforsaken road. We couldn't let this happen again. Humanity was at stake. Chase put that Warthog in sport mode like a pair of Crocs and blasted out of the vehicle bay. Blowing past Faux Hammer as they went down in a blaze of glory, we had one mission, one thought on our mind: finish. Closing in on the Pelican's location the second time, we had so much adrenaline pumping through our veins we felt like true Spartans. We tuck and rolled out of the Warthog and took off towards the Pelican awaiting us. As I ran ahead, I saw Chase behind me. I could not go forward alone. We would do this together, as men, as Spartans, as Master Chief times 2.
Let's do it, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Yes, baby. Yes. Oh my god. Yes.
Beating this game was absolutely brutal, but I would do it all over again with my friend Chase. If you guys enjoyed the video, you should watch this one too. Until then, I'll see you guys on the next gaming adventure.